Damn. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, James, from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel.
Hey. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year. Listen, I know y'all gonna do it anyway, but don't drink and drive. And if you do, make it just from like the garage to the sidewalk or something. Don't
Or
be
to the
driving all over.
mailbox. Oh yeah, don't be driving all over the place. And y'all be safe. It is a new year. No fighting. No, 2024 was already a rough year, and we need all the peace and tranquility we gonna have come January 6th. So I need y'all to be on y'all best behavior. Make sure y'all got y'all vision boards together. Make sure that y'all taking in the new year in celebration of life and love. That's all.
I agree. I think he said it well. Thank you for that. Because people be tripping. They be tripping. But let's end the year off fun and right before me and James get into bed, because that's what we gonna do. This episode we are here to recap is called Somebody's Husband. This was season 6, episode 7 of Love and Hip Hop Miami. We're gonna give our opinions. You guys are welcome to give your opinions as well. I hope that you can hear me. I did move. So I'm getting used to the acoustics and things of that nature. But based on James's face, everybody can hear me.
You sound fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
you
things, good things. You never know when you get new internet somewhere and you just like it's gonna work the way it did before. Anywho,
yeah.
y'all, let's get into the foolery that was this episode. Ray J met with Trick Daddy. I guess Ray J is still a part of this show. I'm not mad at it because Ray J is funny as hell. There's nothing anybody can say to me that's going to make me feel like Ray J is not funny. I think that anyone who takes him seriously should be studied. The only thing I take Ray J serious with is business, and not the ones that he wants to advertise and speak about on the show. Now, Ray J swears his divorce is almost final. Looks like they are aware that the public is sick of and no longer engaged in his and Princess Love's toxic marriage and relationship. I'm not surprised they're getting a divorce for real this time. Why? Because the same way you catch them is the same way you lose them. And didn't he catch her when she was with Floyd Mayweather or something like that?
Allegedly, that's what we laid to believe.
That's what we are made to believe. But when he pushed her in that pool, season 1 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, I knew that these two would never last.
First of all, I wouldn't have been able to come back from that personally. I would have never been able to come back from that. Because not only are we on national TV, but you just humiliated me in front of millions of people by pushing me in some damn water. Can't come back from that. Sorry.
Princess, you repping Oakland wrong, boo, because y'all know that's where she from. Because a real chick from here would have came in with the water. We would have been in the water together.
Princess is from Oakland?
Yeah. Yes.
Princess is from Piedmont. There we go.
I mean, it's a part of Oakland.
It is a part of Oakland. That's where I believe she's from, because there's no way, what I know of Oakland, that doesn't happen. Production would have got shut down. That's when we would have made it to air.
Anywho, y'all, so Ray J claims his divorce is almost final. Good for you, Ray J. And Trick Daddy is complaining about this So Unique chick because he got mad and went off on her because she met with Joy because she applied girl code and she said, somebody I know's husbands I'm dating, so I'm going to say something, which was the right thing to do because until these people are divorced, they are still married. Of course, Trick Daddy don't like that because he's triggered. And I guess So Unique went on the internet and she posted that Trick Daddy got her kicked off Love and Hip Hop. I don't really care, y'all. Ray J making a song off his movie One Wish. And the biggest part that pissed me off is that Ray J was talking about he want to compare what he's trying to do with the One Wish movie to Purple Rain. Now, for those who are younger, of a different generation, you may not understand Purple Rain, Prince, Apollonia, all those things. You may not understand it, but A Time, one of the greatest songs I personally feel have ever been made. And it was actually an okay movie. I like the movie.
First of all, it's a classic. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, we have caution when someone says they want to be inspired by that movie to make their own movie based upon a song. That was a popular song with me and his best friend in high school. No, I'm not going to discredit him at all. But that's a bit of a leap, sir. I'm just saying that's a
Let me explain.
leap.
Ray J, until you learn how to sing One Wish on key, don't say nothing to anybody about it. Now, I love One Wish. I'm not gonna lie. I was just listening to it the other day. However, anybody who can sing understands that he's a little bit tone deaf. He was definitely flat. He sang from his nose and his throat, not from his diaphragm. That's all I'm gonna say. But it is his largest hit. It's his biggest hit that he's ever had musically. Though Ray J is very successful, it looks like he wants to profit off that hit. I feel like this is just some BS that he's trying to do for the camera, personally. But
No, I think it's real. I think he's really trying to do this.
Jesus, Lord help us.
And I'm like, Sonya, you and your wig need to come get your son, please.
Not her in that
I'm
same wig.
gonna call until I see her in something else. I'm gonna call her out for that same. Sonya and your wig, please come and get your son, please, because we're not trying to go. Like, just hearing the plot of this, what he was saying, what you'll get to, it was just like, oh God,
A
please.
disaster in real time. No, I agree with that. Y'all, we got to move on to foolery because that is Love and Hip Hop Miami. So we did see Shay Johnson, aka Bucky from Flavor of Love. I have to call her that, or James's eye and teeth will itch.
Mm.
But she says that she kicked out Fabo, and I couldn't even hear what she was saying because when she sat up to talk to Florence Luce, who pulls up, Shay's wig was toe up from the flow up. I didn't understand what went on. I feel like she has a lot of her own real hair under that wig and needs to just take the wig off because that thing was slicked back. It was weird. Does anyone remember that movie with Charlize Theron? I think it was Monster.
Oh my God, no, you
When
didn't.
she had her hair just combed back with that beer can. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's how Shay's wig looked. Oh my God. I'm so serious, James.
You wrong. No, you wrong.
I love
You.
that movie.
I do too. That's why I'm laughing so hard. That's one of my favorite movies of all
Me
time.
too. Me
Oh
too.
my God.
Oh
You
dear God.
wrong
But
for
that's what I
this.
was thinking about. Shay is a beautiful woman. She is, but she really needs to take off the wigs. They don't always give. The one that she has in the visual that you guys can see in this picture to me looked okay. But I don't know. Shay, you could tell she'd be rushing before the cameras come and just throw whatever on her head. And I need her to not. But Florence pulls up on Shay, and this is where Shay shares all that happened with Fabo and Zoe's sister, the pregnancy test. And it was so funny how Flo just casually moved past that. It was like, yeah, well, Amara is having a secret affair with my husband. I thought you was divorcing and didn't want him.
I
Weren't you
know.
just stopping on a plate picture of you and him when y'all was young before your surgery and his messed up hairline? Isn't that what y'all was doing, Flo? Now you mad that your husband is talking to Amara only because she your op, which I can understand, but she's not your friend, so she don't owe you nothing. So if she want to talk to a man that you're not dealing with no more, why are you throwing this big of a fit? And then you're gonna go and tell people about it, embarrassing yourself. Flo is special, in my opinion, but Shay, in my opinion, did give good advice because when all of this is happening, Shay is telling Flo, like, listen, Gael disrespected you. You let her get away with it. Marlon playing with you. Now Amara's playing with you. And I do agree with Shay also that Amara does think that everybody want her. She does. She's a beautiful girl, but I think that she knows it now. She didn't season one. I think she knows it now, and she do feel like everybody want her. But we're gonna see later that Flo took Shay's advice about keeping Gael in order and all of that. I don't think she did it in the right way, Flo, but we will see. How did you feel about Flo and Shay's scene in that wig?
It's nice to see her film outside of that man and her family.
Mm-hmm.
And realistically, I think because Flo's her only real friend out of everybody on the cast, so it was nice to see that. Um, Flo, this triangle that you keep saying you have between Amara, Gael, and Marlon, you need to go to the top of that triangle and talk to Marlon because that's the root of the issue. You wouldn't have no issue with your sister had he not crossed that boundary. You would not have that issue with Amara had he not crossed that boundary. So you feeling like you need to talk to Gael first and then Amara, you going out of order, sweetie. You need to go at the top of that list because the common denominator is him, not your sister, even though she got her ways, and definitely not Amara. I just feel like you're going out of order, sis. You need to do the right order. Talk to
I
your
agree with
husband.
that. I definitely agree with that because the problem is with the man, but a lot of women, unfortunately, will like to attack the man, the woman, the auntie, the friend. The problem is with the man because he's the one putting you in the situation that you're in the first place. But Flo, if you this mad too, you obviously still want him. That's just my opinion. And
Right.
just be
And
with him at this
it just
point.
be with them. Yeah, it's like y'all already married and
He
I
did
mean
the worst of the worst. He's made a baby on you, slept with your sisters, slept with your family
yeah.
friends, slept with your friends. There's
The
nothing else
only
he
the
can
only
do
more disrespect he can do to you is sleep with your mom.
or to put his hands on you.
Yeah,
That's
that
about
too.
it. That's about it. And the
That's about
mama
it.
will
That's the only
probably
thing.
let him
Yeah,
because
and I
then
and
he
I
is your
don't think he'll do
is.
either or, to be honest with you. But hey,
Now, we did get to a more serious topic, and that is Brooke Valentine. Unfortunately, she did have a miscarriage and she lost her pregnancy. I empathize with women who've gone through this. I have gone through it myself many years ago with my husband. So I definitely empathize with that pain. It's nothing that anyone understands until they really go through it. And I appreciate her for sharing a little bit about it on camera. However, what's good, Smokey the Bear? Happy New Year's to you as well. Music review will be back on Sunday. I will be setting it up after this live. I miss doing my music reviews, y'all. We have been moving, so there's a lot that I have not been able to do, but my channel will be back on track. That's what I'm gonna say. But it doesn't seem like Marcus, aka Dr. Black, wanted a baby in the first place because when we found out she was pregnant, he was kind of reluctant. He didn't seem to feel like it was something that they were in a space to do, which I kind of agreed with. But he was also on board. But he says to her when she's talking about how sad she is over the miscarriage that they need to be intentional in everything that they do. And I'm like, I'm sorry, TMI, for those who are younger, you may want to close your ears. If you lay down with somebody and bust a nut all up in her deeply, then you are intentional in wanting to have a child, whether it happens or not. That's just how I feel. Just saying. I like Marcus. I'm glad he's changed and is doing right by her now. But, bro, what are you doing?
this made me look at him differently. Actually,
It did. It did. It made me think.
it made me look at him differently, and I feel like he's changed for the worst instead of the better.
I feel like he
Um,
changed for, I feel like the change is not genuine.
it's not, and that's why
Because
I'm
he
saying
say
the
he
change
want
is
to
for
be
the worst.
intentional, say he don't want no more kids, but then there's just a lot that she said. Like, for instance, she mentioned that she may want to be a housewife, and he made it seem like it was a bad thing for her to just be at home playing with Shy, who is their younger daughter. And she's like, what if I do want to be a housewife? And he seems to have, he's painting a picture like he wants her to be doing speaking engagements and motivating people. Just because your wife is beautiful and talented doesn't mean that she has to share that beauty and talent with everybody.
Right. And let's make something very clear. I'm not trying to dig on Brooke Valentine because I love her to death. I really do. But Brooke Valentine hadn't had a hit since '03. So
It's the truth.
for her to want to be a housewife and to want to be, a stay at home mom, especially at this point where she's so vulnerable, to me, that should have been the space for you to say, okay, well, if that's what you feel you need to do at this moment, let's have at it because financially we good. So if that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. To me, this conversation made me feel like he was trying to hold her somewhat responsible and make something her fault versus actually supporting her. Because everything that she said, he shot down. She really wants
Yes.
this baby. He shot that down. He said, baby wasn't, God's plan is perfect. I hate men like this, by the way. God's plan is perfect, and if it was meant to happen, it would happen. It's like, first off, God didn't tell you to nut up in me and get me pregnant. And here we are with this miscarriage. And I Want to understand how that even happened in the first place. Was it medical or was it due to stress? Now I want to know because of what he's saying. Not because it's not, it's, it's a probable thing. Miscarriages happen all the time. But what I'm saying is that now I want to know based on his response, because there's no support here. There is no, I hear you and I want to support you in any way that I can. And I'm so sorry that one, you're going through this and my attachment isn't quite here yet. There was none of that. All there was, no, you need to do this. No, you owe the world this. No, God has this plan for us. No, it's like, sir, that is not where she is. That is not where she is. She is very disappointed, very upset, and probably angry at life and maybe even God at this point. And you, sir, since you're so holier than thou and you have all of this aspirations of life and everything is sunshines and rainbows and beautiful flowers, you need to be showering her right now. Not trying to make something her fault or try to make her feel like she has some wrong impression of life just
Yeah.
because this circumstance happened. That shit made me mad. I'm sorry, y'all, to go off on a tangent, but that shit made me mad. I was
It's
looking at him
not a
like,
tangent at all. What you're saying makes sense. Uh, and I agree with all of it. Now, I also will acknowledge his feelings because they are married and they're a partnership, and I'm sure he feels some type of way about losing the child. It's just the way that he is expressing himself with it is just not appropriate. It lacks support, and I agree with what you're saying. And then he says something that bothered me at the end of it. He mentions, okay, we need to be finding the album. Finishing an album and your wife's feelings about a miscarriage should not even be happening in the same sentence or conversation, in my opinion. The last thing I want to hear from my husband if I'm going through something is, oh, well, we need to be getting back to these music reviews and you need to get back on. It's like, no. Um, However, I also looked at Brooke with the side eye because when he was mentioning that he wanted to finish the album, well, she was like, no, because I want more kids. You can't strong arm him into having more kids. And I understand why she would want to, get pregnant again and try
yeah,
again. But based on some of what he's saying is valid. She almost died when she had their daughter Shy. I believe that was sometime around the pandemic. Beautiful baby, by the way. But she almost died. She got very ill with that. Something happened with the baby. So he's probably scared as well. But it was definitely too soon for him to ask her about the album. And I'm just going to wish them well and move on.
I just feel like the reason why he did that is because they probably already fully invested into the album
Yeah.
with
But it
their
just
own
wasn't the time.
money.
Ask her at a different time, not while she's
No, and
pregnant.
I get, I understand that, but sometimes obligations have, time restraints where you may need to do this in this amount of time or we lose this deal. So it could be something like that, but I agree with you. He shouldn't have brought that up at all. Like this was not the moment. This girl
They're
ain't even out of bed.
independent. They are independent artists. So, no.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying maybe because I can't imagine me just getting home from the hospital. I'm not even out my bed. I'm still weeping and moaning, and I don't even have my voice. And here you is talking about an album. It's like, damn, do you consider me at all? That's why I said that scene pissed me off because it was like, dude, you just trying to make some shit her fault, and you really are trying. Are you coming off like realistically? You don't have your own stuff going on, and that you really realistically need
He
her in
needs
order to make
to
your
ride
money.
her coattail, but don't want to make
That's
her
what
look
that's given to
bad.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Now, I'm going to go over this quickly because I don't waste time on hoes. I don't waste time on mistresses. I don't waste time on home wreckers. Okay. I don't. Amara meets up with her baby daddy, Alan. Apparently, he got kids in the Dominican Republic. Apparently, he's got a kid in Michigan, the USA. And apparently, he also has two twins with Amara, who are very cute, by the way. And they don't look like they were in a hospital anytime recent. And this Alan and Amara meet because they want to work on their co-parenting, which I'm here for. I respect it, regardless of how those babies got here and whether they should have been dealing with each other or not. They have to come together to do the best for the babies. Now, he asked Amara if he could put his kids with her with his other daughters so that all of his daughters could know each other and have siblings, which is actually a decent request and tells me that he's not the deadbeat that Amara likes to make him seem like. I think she had them babies in the US of A to have some type of control, knowing that he was in the DR personally. I think she was calculated with having the babies, because why are you trying to get pregnant by a man that you knew and have admitted to knowing was married at the time? It also sounded like he had some other kids and jump offs. She's one of many, kind of like Shay and Fabo. Shay and Amada have more in common than we could even ever have imagined. And it's starting to make sense as we see they dumbasses deal with their dumb baby daddies. That's just how I feel. But Amara doesn't want Alan to, she doesn't want Alan to put all of the girls together, which I think is selfish as her. You don't want him to be around, and you're saying, Amara, basically, you don't want your daughters to meet their siblings because Alan needs to do right by them. What does him doing right by them have to do with those girls knowing their sisters and their siblings? You could call the other baby mamas, but you don't want to do that because then you'd have to explain yourself and you'd probably be in some drama. But that's not, we don't feel sorry for you, Amada. We're probably not going to feel sorry for you ever again. Amada La Negra is somebody who took the fame, allowed it to go to her head, and is now behaving in ways that a true woman should not conduct herself. She's always talking about a lady, act like one. Keep your legs closed to married men, Amada. And then when it comes to co-parenting, because even if you're married, he could have all these baby mamas and things, but it would be a lot easier to have your kids bond. Don't rob your children of knowing their siblings, because I have siblings. I love my siblings to death. I really do. Do not rob your girls of knowing their siblings because you're mad at their daddy. I understand you want him to be consistent, but once they know their siblings, they can know their siblings without him. He does not have to be involved there. So that's my take on it. Do you have anything you want to add?
Not really. It's just
It's time for Amara to go.
yeah, it's just I don't care. I don't care.
See, James is like, I could give a flying.
Because
But we gonna move on.
I know it's bull. That's why I'm like, move on. Yet.
I don't want to see Alan on the show. I don't want to see Amada unless I'm seeing Alan's wife and Amada try to co-parent and her actually do things the right way. I don't care and I don't want to see it. Now, Ray J goes and meets with Derek Milano, who's the boyfriend and super producer of Black China. And apparently, Princess kicked him out on his birthday because she believed he was cheating on her. He probably was. And she probably was cheating on him too. So I don't feel sorry for Princess either. But Ray J tells us more about his One Wish project. And I could tell the Derek Milano guy was just laughing like, this is what you got to do for a reality TV check, huh? His face. Ray J talking about he want to make a song in his One Wish production talking about popping pussy on your period. I can't believe I have to say that. As a woman who menstruates monthly, it's a fucking curse. But as a woman who deals with the sorcery of a menstrual cycle every 28 days, mine come like clockwork. I'd like to say that I hope none of you are popping pee on your cycles. A bitch that would have said that was just disgusting. It wasn't even funny. Like sometimes Ray J make me laugh, but I was just like, why do you as a man want a song about popping pee while somebody is menstruating? What is going on? Is this all they had to show? But my mother-in-law said that's just nasty.
Sonya Norwood, baby. You and your wig need to come get your child up off this television show right now. I don't need to hear this. I don't care about this movie that's probably going to be on Tubi. I don't care about all of this. That is not something you need to say. And poor Derek Milano with his cute self. I don't understand. I couldn't have sat across from him. I would have got up.
He just started smiling, that nervous laughter.
Right. It was like, no, I would have got up. I would have said, oh no. Cut this camera. I can't do this with this man. Y'all got me messed up. There's no way. There's no way I could have sat there for that. Like me, I would have been like, I probably would have said what I just said. Sonya, you and your wig, come get your son right now from this couch.
I cannot. He is disgusting. Let's not forget these people. I just want to know who raised them. Sonya and Willie Norwood. You know, that's why I always make the comment. I notice sometimes the people who grow up with a very good example in terms of the foundation of marriage and love, they be going the
To me,
entire
I feel
opposite
like
direction.
they will never admit it. I feel like because so much focus was put on Brandy,
Hmm.
that he probably acted out a lot
Yep.
and never really got corrected for it. And this is why we still get this behavior even in his 40s, which is ridiculous to me.
Ray J, this is not, she smashed the homies from back in the day. This, like, Ray J's a full grown man who's going to
Yes,
qualify for an AARP card in the next decade. He is too old to be acting like this.
right.
It's
Like
time
way
to
too
grow
old.
up.
Like I don't understand. And as I said, that's from them coddling him and
Hmm.
then, probably pacifying the behavior because so much focus was make sure because Brandy was hot.
She
90s,
was.
early 2000, Brandy was hot. And it was hard to really put her down as far as like making sure she didn't get the wrong contract, making sure that them deals were coming through. She had a hit show in the 90s. So it's like, I understand if a lot of that attention really was taken off of him to be put on her. I think that that's really what it is. They
Speaking
probably will
of the
never admit.
90s, Ray
Hmm?
J really does act like D Money, aka Dorian from Moesha. If you know, you
Hmm.
know.
Yep.
He truly is his character through and through. But Bitch They would have said, I don't know if they were such a good example. Let's not forget his daddy has a son with his name, sake that he does not acknowledge or take care of. Oh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I think it's more than one child if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Jesus. So he, no, that explains a lot then. The bitch they
Hmm.
went and done cracked the
Yeah,
code
I think
to
it's
Ray
more than
J's
one
rules.
child. I think I want to say it's three, but I could be mistaken. I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't know that man's business like that.
What
But
a
I
difference.
know it's at least one. But I'm thinking there was three of them, if I'm not mistaken.
That is, well, that makes sense why Sonya's so damn angry all the time. She
And why
always
that
looked just
wig? She
mean.
had that same wig since the '80s, but that's neither here nor
That may have kept the babies from being made if she changed the wig, but he doesn't take care of the oldest son. He never did. Wow. But
there.
then comes on TV and takes care of the other. That's Ray J probably needs so much therapy. He probably needs like intensive care management. He needs so much. But at the very least, he wants to include Amada in this project, which I knew immediately when he said that was him being messy and trying to get back at Princess
Yep.
because Amara's ditzy and dumb and easy. It's a fact. And Princess Love and Amada had a good friendship based on next week's episode. I don't know how good that friendship is anymore, but they did have something. So we'll see what happens with them, but it just sounds messy. Now, Brooke Valentine goes to meet with Amada La Negra because she feels unsupported by Marcus, who is her husband, about her miscarriage, which me and James both just stated he pretty much did lack support. It was more about business. If my husband ever do that to me in a situation like that, I would be so upset. No, I know you're talking about Ray J's
Yeah, we
daddy.
know. Yeah, we understood. No, we're talking about him too. It's more than one outside child. I believe, to my knowledge, and I'm saying allegedly, I believe there's three outside children. It's more than
Mm,
just one.
that's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a shame. Old as hell and ain't acknowledging the kids.
Hmm.
Lord, that's a mess. But Brooke tells Amara about her miscarriage. She miscarried after 12 weeks, which she was pregnant for a little while. And this is where they move on to discuss Shay and Fabo. Brooke, you messy through your pain. Because why are you talking to Amara about Shay and
Okay.
Fabo, knowing that Amara don't care because they don't really
Okay.
talk? I
It's like, girl, I said, bro, come on now. All that afterbirth, like, girl, come on. I know you got to be, just dealing with just all kind of emotions and stuff. That was not something you bring up,
it's
especially when you know them two are on the outs.
it's also interesting that Marcus did not tell her about how the meeting with Zoe and Shay went. I thought that was strange, but she just scurried right over it. And Amara mentions Ray J wanting to have her as part of his One Wish project, but she claims she's upset that he sabotaged her relationship with Safari. Girl, you was having problems with Safari before Ray J
Girl,
sabotaged it.
okay,
That's why
for
you.
real. Trust me, that was gonna happen with or without Ray J.
She said she's a funny looking little person. I don't know why that was funny,
We just
but it
called her
was.
Eileen Woodacose not too long ago.
Mm.
Shout out to the monster reference we did at the beginning.
She is funny looking though. It's in the face. I always thought that, even on Flavor of Love. But let's not get off topic.
Yeah, let's not get off topic because I can go on and on.
Lord help us. Amara, that relationship with Safari I thought was not real. Now you're saying Ray J sabotaged it, but you were in the Dominican Republic when they showed the clips of how he did that. You had already ran off from Safari because y'all was already having problems. So how did he sabotage what you were already having issues with? And why do you care? Because based on how Safari act, based on the drama he got with Erica,
I feel like that his eggplant, I feel like it has a curse on it because these women act just straight up fools. Erica Mena, Amara over this, and I can't understand why. Because his personality is horrible, his ways are horrible, so that could be the only thing I can think of, just off the top of
he
my
did
head.
have a mold of his man part made. It was not a bad mold. So if he knows what to do with it, I can understand why some of these women are tripping, but I will never understand.
That's the only because I don't understand. Like logically, even though Amara ain't got no common sense and neither is Erica Mena, so let me take that back. I just don't understand. Maybe I'm telling you, I
Maybe
just
he
don't get
took
it.
well. Women like to eat. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah, okay, well, I mean, but hey, Ray J ruined that relationship for her, so
Amara, we don't even believe the relationship. Please stop
was
talking about it.
real.
We don't. We really don't. We never believed it. It was strange that you even got with him. But we gonna move on to discuss Shay. She goes to see her family, and they surprise her with Mama D, which had me cracking up. And they gave her some breakup gear, kind of like a divorce party, which people do. They gave her some, he's gone, kicked to the curb, congrats. Like Shay took so long to get out this relationship. I understood where her family was coming from, but she gets upset and she throws the cake. And in my opinion, Shay treats her family like actual shit and should be happy and grateful that these people love her enough to still deal with her. But instead, she throws the cake and they're trying to get her to stay and calm down. And this is where MJ tells Shay how they made a song for her. And when they showed the clip of him trying to hit the falsetto, I said, MJ, this is why your career has gone nowhere musically. Stop it. He can sing, but not in a falsetto. You got to know your limitations. Okay?
This is going to. Oh, go ahead.
Why did he bring his mama in the studio? Why did Sandra have to come in the studio?
I don't know what Sandra was doing. She was talking the entire time. Maybe she felt like she was just going to have just the model message of the song, and then MJ was just going to sing it. I don't know, but I hate I have to say this. Because I normally do not say this on Mrs. Best Channel, but I actually agree with Shay's response this time. This time. So, and the reason why I'm saying that, because regardless of how we feel on the outside looking in of this TV show that is portrayed as it not being real 100%, if I were to believe Shay, like if I never saw the show and I looked at Shay's emotion because this is a fresh breakup, it just happened, and y'all have cakes, you brought Mama D's weird ass out here from Atlanta, and y'all know how she is. Y'all know how she's an antagonist. And then you have t-shirts. And then you have this celebration when I'm still trying to process my emotions about it because I really did feel this.
Nope. Absolutely not. I feel like the way she treated her family during the break, she let that man disrespect her family.
No, I agree with that.
Get over it, Shay. Because at the end of the day, the whole world is looking at you crazy. Fuck that and her couch. That lady sat up there and allowed that man to get in her mama's face. I am actually estranged from my mother, have not spoken to her in years. I would never let nobody get in my mama's face or disrespect her, though.
No, I agree, but we're talking about this moment. We're not talking about.
We don't give a damn about her being sad about some shit that she already knew. That man been cheating on her for over a decade. He never cared to claim her as his woman until she pushed out a baby. She had to keep him from us in hiding because she knew what he was going to give. Okay, I don't feel sorry for Shay not a lick. Now,
I
James is
tried.
more empathetic than me. I don't feel sorry for her at
Lucky
all.
I tried. I did try for you. I did
She
try to
knew what she
advocate
was
for you.
getting, and now she expects the rest of us to feel sorry
I
for
didn't feel
seeing
sorry,
what
but
she
I
didn't.
understood her response. I
Girl,
did feel bad and I understood. I didn't feel sorry for
Shay,
her, no.
that's different. I think with Shay, she really needs to understand. Now, if this was like the first breakup, I would have been like, okay, the family's tripping, right? But considering how she got him, how she got pregnant, how she had to hide him, how she allowed him to disrespect her mother, her brother, her friends, she let that man disrespect and do whatever. Now, instead of disrespecting him, they try to uplift you. It may not have been right. It did feel like it was for the show, but they could have done so much. You disrespect your mama, didn't speak to her for much, but when you needed her, you called her to bring your baby over there
Right.
so you could get this man out the house. So if your mama decides to bring someone who cares about you and a cake and your business manager and stuff, they meant well, even though it wasn't okay. Her
It
mom was
wasn't okay.
horrible
Like I
though. I
would have
watched that
see
in Young
what
Love.
would have made me feel differently, like if she had like a barbecue or something at the house and invited more people over and stuff. That's when I'd have been like, okay, that's when family. But no, I did feel for her response because I feel like it is too soon. Like let at least a month go by. If
No,
like I'm saying.
because she let months go by without talking to her mom after this man that she's now no longer with is gone.
Bucky, I tried once again. This is best they having it. She
I'm
ain't
not.
having it.
These side hoes and they need to learn. When you mess with a man that don't belong to you. Now I'm not
I get
talking
it.
about
I
marriage.
get it.
When you mess with a man that don't belong to you, you choose to lay down on your back and get pregnant by a man that don't belong to you. Got pregnant a second time by a man that don't belong to you, who disrespected your mama while you was laid up in the hospital trying to heal, causing more drama instead of making peace for yourself. Hell, the worst of the worst niggas will shut the hell up and at least let you heal from the inside out. He didn't. He was in her mama's face on camera. So I'm kind of like, I get her being upset, but to throw a cake down and take the baby and walk out,
No, I
I'm
love
just
cake
like,
way too much. No, I love cake way too much. I wouldn't
I'm
have threw
not
it down.
wasting no good
I would have
cake.
been mad at y'all, but I'd have took a piece of that cake. I'm sorry. I love cake too much. I do. Especially that wasn't a chocolate cake, but like no, it was
I'm not
well.
throwing no
Yeah,
cake.
I'm not
Now,
throwing away
Mama
that cake.
D, I understand her being irritated with that because why is my ex's mama here? But at the
What
same
ex?
time, Shay don't know how to allow
Who
people to,
ex?
huh?
What ex? Who you talking about?
Her ex lover, whatever the hell her and Scrappy
Girl,
was.
that was Shay was a jump off. Now see, now this is where I get on Shay. That wasn't no relationship. That wasn't nothing but she was easy access.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well have imprinted the A on down there herself. That was easy access. That wasn't no relationship. It just wasn't. She played second to not only Erica, but to at some point maybe Bambi as well.
She
So
did the same thing with Fabo too.
yeah,
And he only picked her because by the time he got to her, she had the baby. I think Shay has the most money of all the other women he deal with, personally.
me too. Was Pleasure P also dealing with somebody at the same time, or was that an actual? She was first.
I don't
I
know,
don't
but
remember. I
Pleasure
don't remember.
P ain't pleasured nobody in forever, especially at the eyes. That
No,
man
I'm
looked like
trying
he
to give Shay
created a
some grace
fucking
here
tape.
because we've been ripping into her the last 10 minutes. I'm trying to give her some grace.
No, she doesn't get grace. She doesn't get it. Great. She can get grace from God. I am not a holy entity. That bitch knew what she was getting. And now she mad that people tried to celebrate and uplift her versus the I told you so. They could have been doing that, but they tried to uplift her. Now, I would have been mad at the song if I heard that song too.
Yeah, that would have. She didn't even listen to 10 seconds of it. She's like, I turned it off. That's horrible. Because it was terrible. That was
But yeah,
everybody's not meant
I
to
think
be
Shay
music.
does need tough love. I understand her mom was honestly not the best mom, but it seems like her mom is trying to be better now, which is good because especially in Black culture, sometimes your parents never apologize. Sometimes they never even try to be better. They just carry on the way they carry on. But her mom is trying now. Not saying she has
Yeah,
the perfect
she's showing
parenting,
up
but
in the ways that she needs to. She is.
yeah. And she's forgiving, I think, because she knows how she did Shay as a child, but Shay needs to realize that at some point you can no longer be the victim. You're a big girl. Go get yourself together,
Well,
get some therapy, because I'm tired of Shay as a
I
whole.
forgot which Medea play I was watching on Christmas, but Medea made a good point that sometimes children have to realize that your parents were once your age as well, and just think of where
Mhm,
you are and consider what your parents may have been. And I think
mhm.
that that's what Shay needs to do instead of
She
always harboring, because it seems like she constantly dangles that over her mom's head like a pair of earrings that her mom will never get. It's like, I'm gonna dangle this over you because you've always did this to me, so I'm just gonna continue to throw that in your face because you could never repair that, and she's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Give her
And
one time.
I'm aware of what her mama did. They talked about it a lot on the Ayanla show, and Shay has also spoken about it on this show, in which she started dealing with Fabo because she's like, "You let daddy cheat on you left and right just because you forgave him. Don't mean I will." All of those little statements shows that Shay needs to move on
But
and
see,
work
but that's the
out
thing. I don't feel
her
like,
trauma.
yeah, but I don't feel like Shay's moving in a way where she's acting like her mother. Shay is acting like the woman who's fighting for the dad's attention, one of the other women, because she's displaying that in the relationship she's being in on this show, where she's constantly fighting to prove her position. That's not what her mom did. So that's why I'm
Her
saying
mom did have the husband.
yeah, the mom had the husband. So to me, I felt like no, Shay is acting out because she probably not only didn't have her mother's attention, she probably didn't have her father's attention because he was constantly in
Mhm.
other laps. So that's why I'm saying she's acting like one of the other women that's fighting for the attention she never got. That's what she's doing. That's what makes her dead. Because I would say people say that a lot about her, but I was like, I don't see that. That's not what I'm looking at.
I think in terms of the mom thing, where she does mimic the mom, is forgiving Fabo so many times, knowing what he's doing.
Yes, that I agree with.
Now that part I will say, but everything else I do agree with you specifically, James, spot on. Because a lot of times girls go looking for what they either had with their dads or did not get from their dads,
Mhm.
and vice versa with men with their mothers. So it's a mess, but she's too much. Yes, this is also true. A lot of people will mimic what their parents do, but not in the same manner that their parents do it. That is
No, she's
actually
carrying the traits of
proven fact.
the
Yeah.
abandonment, the loss, and feeling like she has to prove extra moments of her being in order to keep someone. That's what she's doing. So no, I
But I
definitely agree
also
with
feel like with Shay, I also feel like a portion of it is from her parents, but then I also feel like a bigger chunk of it is she's just a person who lacks empathy and is a spoiled ass brat. That's
you.
my
Yeah,
personal opinion, because
yes, I
two
agree.
things can be true at the same time, y'all. You can be spoiled and not rich. And a lot of people think to be spoiled means you just have everything you want handed to you, and there's so much more that comes with that. But
Hmm.
either way, Shay, everybody knew that this relationship wouldn't work. Be glad your family ain't doing what the internet doing, because we all looking at you crazy. Now, we are hell.
Yeah.
Trick Daddy and meets with So Unique. I'm not going over this in depth, y'all. I'm just not.
Yeah, I thought that was Tommy Lee sitting there with Trick. I'm like, why
I
is
told you she
Tommy?
looked like her before she
She
started
do.
whitening her skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she looks exactly like her. I said, why is Tommy Lee? Does she need to check or something? I had forgot about So Unique, y'all. I wasn't even thinking about that girl. I said, why is Tommy here? Why he keep? Why they arguing? Did she owe him some money? I thought that was Tommy the entire
She
time.
owe
I
him
really
some
did.
money. Can't stand you. I Yep. So she got it. She definitely needs therapy. She's
But
too
see, the
old.
thing about it is she too
44 years
busy trying
old.
to fight her therapist and stuff. Like we saw that on Yana where she felt like she's one of them people. I had an ex like this, y'all, that likes to measure what someone does, and if you don't go above that measurement, then you didn't do anything wrong. That's how my ex thought.
Mm,
It was the strangest thing to me I've ever seen. Like, why are you measuring the wrong? Wrong is wrong, regardless of how you look at it. The way she displays her behavior is wrong. It's not
mm,
behoove of her. So therefore, you need to stop trying to make everybody else the scapegoat of you and just actually correct what you need to correct. Because
mm.
your mama after 18, she didn't have no whereabouts of you. That's all on
Yep.
you. That's all on you.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. Yeah.
But Shay, I can't with her, but she
No,
definitely needs therapy. But yeah, Trick met with the girl. She said I skipped this part. I don't
I
blame
did
you.
too because I
She
said, well,
doesn't understand how she betrayed Trick Daddy. He says by meeting with Joy. and then he asked her to leave Miami. Okay. Remove Trick Daddy from this show. I understand that
Exactly.
Miami
That didn't
is
make
a
any sense to me.
smaller, I get that Miami's a smaller but large metropolitan area if you compare it to other areas in the country that are large. But it's like they're keeping Trick and Trina on here as if they're the face of Miami. And I'm sorry, it is 2024. It's about to be 2025. Trick and Trina are not the face. If anything, when I think of Miami in today's time, I don't think of Trick Daddy and Trina. I think of them damn city girls, the young Miami. I think of
I don't even think of
several
them,
other
period.
people.
I don't even think of them. I don't think of nobody. When I think of Miami, I think of beaches and water. I don't think of anything else. I don't think
These
of
people try to
people.
claim a city, and
Yeah, I don't think of
it's
anything.
strange. It's so
Like,
strange.
yes, like it's really strange. And to me, here I'm gonna make something really clear. Trick, she did what the last girlfriend you had on the show did not do, which was have respect enough for your wife because she may not
Mhm.
have known the headspace your wife was in to actually say, "Hey, I'm talking to your ex-husband again. I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke."
Mm.
I don't see what's wrong with that,
He
especially if she
wants the
knows her.
drama. He wants them to fight. Ain't nobody fighting over the Mucinex monster.
We sure ain't. We
Nobody's
sure
fighting
ain't.
over you, Trick Daddy. You need to be fighting for your own life. You look more pregnant than some of my friends who are in their 9th month of pregnancy. You need to figure out some things, Trick, instead of arguing with a girl who is young enough to be your granddaughter. That's what you need to be doing.
I'm not going here with you
It's
today.
true.
But yeah,
It's
that
true.
seems stupid. And for you to get mad because she met up with Joy just because you on the outs with Joy, because truth be told, that's the reason why he's mad because Joy won't take him back,
Yep.
and I wouldn't either.
Hell no.
I wouldn't either, just for the simple fact that things that have come out that he has said about Joy, I wouldn't take you back either. That shit was horrible.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, if I'm not going to take somebody back, I am going to divorce them. I feel like Joy stays married to him because so that she could still come to family events and get some of the food because he looked
I
like
would-
he could fry the hell out of some fish.
It's like that girl that was Iyanla on Netflix. My Life. I love this reference. Michael Jackson's nephew that was on Iyanla Fix My Life, and how
Oh
Iyanla clowned
Lord.
that girl because she said it's because you want to be with a Jackson, and that girl said there's no benefit to being with a Jackson, and everyone's looking at her like, yes, there is. Are you crazy? There's a benefit to being married to Trick. There is a benefit to being married to him.
There
There
is, there is.
absolutely is in Miami. There is a huge benefit to being
Yeah.
married.
They try to make it seem like it's dead. I don't think it's dead because realistically, if you have a good lawyer in divorce court, you can figure out the debt part. There's a big benefit to being with him still because without him,
Absolutely.
I'm
Still to this
sorry.
day, yes.
Who is Joy without him other than Trina Cousin? And she
She
got a
still has
thousand.
his last name. She's
Mm-hmm.
trust me, that lady is benefiting from that name. She really is. Honestly. And y'all can't
Yes.
tell me different. Y'all can't tell me different.
Now we move on to Gael's birthday party. I think it was birthday party. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I watched this at work because I was like, why the hell they got me working on New Year's Eve? I don't care if we close early. I don't need to be here. And for those wondering why, it's like I'm a social worker, so I literally just sat at my desk like, the hell am I doing here? So I'm watching Love and Hip Hop, and I'm like, was it a birthday party? I guess it was. Gael really do look like a pretty pug or a little
No,
Frenchie in
she
the
looks like one
face.
of them Furby dolls. I was looking at her,
Oh
the ones that used to scare us at kids. She looks like that. She looks like one of them Furby dolls or
oh
Kirby or whatever them
Jesus.
dolls names were. That's what she looks like.
She irritates me so much. She just does. I still want to know why her son's in prison, but that's a whole other thing. But Gael's at her party and she's like, my sister's supposed to be here. I don't know where she is. I'm like, okay, Gael. So
Is that your
Gael's,
brother? Because I've seen him in the club before. Was that her brother?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
remember.
I have no clue who it was. But
Yeah, I've
Gael's
seen that
slow
guy
and
before.
thirsty self has to understand this. She says, I agree that she looks like a pug, but not a pretty one of this.
Can she?
It's
Well,
just sad that we saw her at her best and it was still what it was. But
yeah.
she looked like her mama. I'm sorry. I'm saying what I said. But move it on. It's true. It's true. Now, Gael has Alan, who is Amada's baby daddy, come because y'all know they be sleeping together because Gael will sleep with the pole or the end of my bed frame. She will. And It's like, can you not tell that this man don't want you? He just needs some. He don't actually want to be with you, Gael. What are
I'm
you
like,
doing?
Alan, you got to be the lowest person on earth if you really think sleeping with this lady
Alan will
is.
sleep with anybody.
Oh, you saying
He's
they
our
two birds of
Bill.
a feather? They flock together. They understand. They have an understanding.
Yes, he'll sleep with anybody. I'd
I
like
mean,
Alan
he's
gives
not the
that
most
energy.
attractive man either, but I've seen the most not attractive men pull some very,
Yes,
very, very, very beautiful women, and
if
I
a
just
man really does have game and or confidence, ooh, but if he got both, I believe he could
no,
pull
I feel like she
who you
made him
want.
some spaghetti and he ate it.
I can't stand you, James. That's some spaghetti. Gael is always the one working in that restaurant. They say she
Yes,
cooks
I'm telling
food.
you,
I
I'm
wouldn't
not
be
gonna eat
surprised.
her food. You ain't finna put that in me. I'm sorry, I'm not eating that.
I can't stand you. I could not. Now, Flo comes to the party late, gets on stage and uses Alan. Flo starts dancing on him with her BBL and all these crazy things. And Gael gets mad as hell at Flo for dancing on who she views as her man. She says, Flo's trying to steal my man. Gael, this man is married.
Okay.
He's got twins by a martyr,
Nope.
apparently a kid in Michigan, and some kids running around the Dominican Republic. This is not your man, Gael. This is the people's man.
And first
Okay.
of all, let me explain. Let me add something to that. Gaia, you got some nerve
Yep.
saying, questioning, or trying to get mad at anybody, especially your sister, when you the one that
You
slept with
slept
your
with her
husband.
husband.
Like, I'm trying to figure out. Excuse me. No, this is fair game. This is called karma. This is called my get back, my lick back. Ain't that what we talk about? That's my lick back. I'm sorry, sweetie. You shouldn't have did what you did. Not only did you sleep with this lady's husband, but you slept with this lady's also for the show alleged girlfriend too. So I'm not finna. No, Gael, sorry, ma'am. No, I'm not finna feel sorry for you. I hope she did it.
You know what the crazy part is? So I was cracking up because Alan ran off the stage so fast. And this is where Gael starts trying to put Flo out of the club, her own sister. And I was sitting there looking at their dumbass mama. Bitch, get up with your old ass. Use a cane, use a walker, use whatever you got to use. Why are you watching your kids argue like that?
Something tells me that Flo is just like her dad.
Mm.
And there's this bit of, I'm sure she loves her daughter. I'm not saying that. But we saw this, which TV show we see? Was it the SWV and Escape show? Where the Scott sisters, the
Oh,
mama
yes,
was
it was. Yeah.
okay. That's what I feel is going on here. I do. I feel like it's that exact same situation where the mama. I don't know what the Scott's mama was her gripe to always want to hover and protect Tasha from Tamika, but it's giving a lot of that. I feel like the mama's doing that with Flo, which is her wanting to take Barlin back, even though he slept with your other daughter while they were married. It's this like, I just feel like that's what we're looking at here. That's the correlation that I'm making.
It's a joke at this point. I'm tired of them. Flo and Gael and all of them remind me of some stuff I used to see on Maury when I stayed homesick as a kid. That's what it reminds me. Do you remember the little headlines when Maury was
Yeah.
all y'all? I slept with my sister's man and now I need to tell her.
Oh,
And
who replaced
that's what
Maury?
this is given. Huh?
Who replaced Maury?
I have no clue. I don't
Because I know his show isn't on anymore because he said he retired. I remember him saying he retired. And I
I think it's
know
the Karamo show because
Karamo
I'm
who?
always getting emails where they're like, come get tickets to
Karamo
see.
from the real world Karamo?
I don't know. I don't watch it, James.
I'm gonna have to Google this because now
I
I'm
barely
curious.
watch this show, but I'm pretty sure they replaced it with something of that nature because they always try to send me tickets to the live studio audience. Yes, I'm that person that will love to go to the Dr. Phil show. I like to be in the audience booing and oohing and eyeing. Sure do. Uh, but yeah, Flo basically says, "Oh, okay, thank you, a bitch that went in." She's like a regular like glossary in the comments. I love it.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
Karamo. Yes,
I just looked it up. Yeah, that's Karamo from the Real World. He was on Real World Philadelphia. The only reason
that's
why I love
so
that because
funny.
I love that. I thought that everybody from that cast was so beautiful to me. That's all I know. That's how I remember which one. They all were so cute to me. Every single last one of them.
The
So I
new
was like,
generation really missed like a time
yes,
for like
yeah.
reality TV. Like the real world was So
I
good.
mean,
I loved it.
I would love to do recaps of all of the real roles because my favorite was Back to New York because I loved Coral. She killed me that season. I loved her.
I
And
love
also
Austin, Key
I loved
West, and
Austin.
San Diego was my favorite.
San Diego, Key West. I love Janelle. Yes. Okay, so we here. Yes.
Yes, and for those who don't know, I am like a super challenge fan. Like super
Yes,
challenge
me
fan.
too.
Have never missed a season. I love that challenge and Survivor, but that's a whole nother thing. And I will never recap those shows because I love them too much. This shit, I'll keep recapping because I'll be watching it like, oh no, we got to talk about it. But that's interesting that Karamo ended up on Karamo. Good for him.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was just a mess. Flo ends up taking Alan home though. I'm like, you doing the most for somebody who don't care for Marlon. And Alan's, of course, he gonna walk right along with her. I can't with these people. Is there anything you'd like to
It's
add
just
for
the
the
way she
food?
was walking. That booty looked like it was heavy, and I'm just sorry.
It's a
Well,
diaper that's gone into the water when you see the babies
right.
at the beach and then the baby used the
It's like
bathroom.
it's like Flo. It's rejecting, sweetie. It's rejecting your like whatever you put in there. It's rejecting. Your body's rejecting you. You weren't supposed to do it. You were fine the way you were.
Now we gotta finish the foolery with Amara and Ray J. They meet up. She tries to go off about him sabotaging her relationship. And this fool Ray J, all he says is, I felt like y'all both needed somebody different. You don't, you not she had to drag that man. He don't want either of them. He don't. But Amara, what is going on here? Why are you meeting with Ray J? Why wouldn't you call Princess first if you're her actual friend? What is going on here? Now, all he said is he felt like they needed somebody different, and then he calls her sexy and gets down on a knee and apologizes. But he didn't get down on the knee like he was going to propose or was trying to say sorry. He got down on the knee in a different way. The vibes that I got that I can't see YouTube.
Yeah, for real. Well, I just put it. I'll give you really. It looked like he was trying to look up that dress.
Yep. I
That's what
don't trust
that's what
her.
I'm assuming.
She grabbed him by the head and lifted him back up, which men like, by the way. So I was like, oh, here go this shit. Now he tells Amara he wants to learn bachata for his, which is a dance in her culture, and he wants to learn it so that he could do it in his One Wish film or whatever the hell. Ray J, no, he full of shit because Ray J's actually worth a lot of money. He's a very good businessman and he's invested well. And he could have hired, especially in Miami. He had plenty of options, professionally and personally, to teach him bachata. We know that he is full of it. We know that cannot be the reason why you are meeting up with Amara. But okay. Now, Amara, as Princess's friend, you should not be doing this with a man that she's actively going through a divorce with. But we know that Amara does not respect marriage, considering her kids are the result of her sleeping with somebody else who was married. But it just seems like she's extra thirsty this season and willing to use like her looks and attraction as a way to get back at people. If I got to get back, like call me old school, but if I really got a problem with a female, I'm not going to go and do what Amara did with Marlon and go meet up with your dude and flirt with him. I know I could pull niggas. That's not the problem. But if the problem's big enough to where I feel like I need to do that, that's the time where, though I don't condone fighting, if we got to square up, we could square up. But I'm not going to go and date a man and share my lips, my body, my space, my time, my energy with a man that I know I don't really want just to make somebody else mad. That's stupid. So Amara is not doing that in this situation with Ray J, but it's very strange how she cries and this is my show and I'm just a nice girl and girls always treat me a certain way, but then she has no respect at all because she knows better. She just chooses to not do better. She has no respect at all for other people, other people's relationship, her friends. Amara does not care. She said, all I need is a chunk of hair. Don't play with me. Right. Right. Why are we doing this? Like I would hate if
I
anybody ever
just
tried
feel
that.
like, yeah, I just feel like because, as I said, she doesn't have any moral compass of what that really is like to have someone entertain your man
Mm.
to this detriment where he's actually yours and does not belong to someone else. I really feel like she doesn't know what that feels like. Because if she knew what that felt like, she wouldn't do it.
Well, she knew what it felt like with MJ, but she let go of him
That
because
didn't
of
count.
stuff her friends said.
Yeah, that wasn't the same thing. That wasn't the same thing. We're talking about her being married, her being, and maybe even having a kid with the man, and then him entertaining one of your castmates because it was Mad Day, or because you wouldn't give him any attention, or because he felt like the girl had a bigger booty than you. I feel like and that's another thing. I feel like this is vindictive, and I feel like she doesn't really care. She really doesn't. She doesn't care whose man it is, as long as she can, one up the lady, and that's
I
really
just
sad.
want her to stop acting like she's some innocent, sweet girl when she's not. Her loyalty lies everywhere. She's been on this show since season 1. She can't keep one friend from season 1 at all, on or off camera. And I'm tired of it, but they're going to keep her because she's an original. She's beautiful. She makes good TV. But I miss when she would just put out music and trying to make it. But it is what it is. It looks like Princess is going to have a problem with her, and she may get that smack that she deserved. But that was the episode, y'all.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be mad at that smack either. I feel like
I'm not, because she been needed to get knocked upside her head. I always say, y'all know me. I always say on these lives with certain people, I feel like some people just ain't had their ass whipped correctly.
Yeah, even though I don't really want it to come from, I don't want it to come from Princess specifically, because Princess didn't have all that smoke from Moniece like that. But I'm just saying,
that's because Moniece is crazy. I would have left her ass alone too. Okay, I would have left Moniece alone.
I'll tell you, Moniece got crackhead shit. She do. I don't care what nobody tells me. That girl is. I love her though. I do, but
yeah, she's talented. That's why I'm like, she needs to do more. I really want her to slap her back on. Right, do something. But it looks like next week will be an interesting episode. The commitment to Love and Hip Hop Miami, because VH1 don't really got shit else on, in my opinion. So it seems like they're gonna keep airing it. Yes, we will recap Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It will be back.
Even though I'm rolling my eyes.
Huh?
Even though I'm rolling my eyes because that commercial was whack.
It was whack. They're not giving enough time to break from filming before filming a new season.
That's because MTV don't play that. Like, MTV realistically is trying to make sure, just in case the Jersey Shore kids get tired of filming like they did in 2014, they try to make sure they got something to replace that, because that show, they're not, and y'all know how they are with our color folks are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the truth. I actually agree with that. But we'll be covering Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, you guys. For those who watch us on James's channel as well, Housewives of Potomac, as well as Married to Medicine, did go on break. They will be back on the 6th, which is Sunday. So be sure to subscribe and tune into James's channel. The link is always in the description of this video. You can also type in Watch Your Mouth Reviews and find him that way. You can also find his page through one of the playlists that I set up for all of the shows that we recap together. But we genuinely do wish all of you guys a happy new year. You guys have supported myself and James on both channels through the whole year, and you guys really do matter. Once we continue to elevate and grow this channel, we'll do some meetups and stuff so we can actually meet the people we support and talk in person one day. Yes. But I hope everyone enjoys their New Year's, yourself included, James. I'm old, so I will be in the house smoking.
Me too. This year, I'm taking a break from going out. I usually go out every year, but this year I'm staying in, you guys, because it just, sometimes you need a break. And this is an odd number year, so I want to make sure I keep, everything contained in me. So, we'll just do it like that.
That's smart. That's actually smart. But y'all be safe. I will be live tomorrow. I was going to do Love During Lockup tonight. I'm pooped. I'm tired. So I will do that tomorrow. But subscribe to James's channel. Give us a click. Love and light to all of you. Thank you, James. And I'll see y'all next year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks.